welcome to this week's Talks podcast, our Black History edition. So today we're going to be talking about our positive impacts on UK culture, maybe even with Black history being world history, and looking at the positive effects that it has on us as a people, but hopefully it's the wider society in general, and how we can start to maybe get Black history as just being part of history, as opposed to, you know, being a segregated part or like a two lesson section for your year 7s to year 11s in the UK. So in the US, 8th grade to 13th grade. So
good, you know.
So
that's all right.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about the introduction actually of Black history and becoming a little bit more popular? Over here in the US, it's been popular for a little bit more longer, but
in the US, it's been longer, and here recently. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I would say Black history's only really been publicised in here probably the last 15 years.
I would agree with that, absolutely.
Something like that. Whereas
can I kick off?
Of course you can.
In the US, it's been 20, 30.
About 30 years
longer,
or so. Yeah.
I believe with the US, there's a lot more Black people there as well. So
it's a bigger population.
It's a bigger population, so I get that. I want to kick off a little bit and tell you a little bit about my experience. Being, quote unquote,
Black.
I know.
Oh, no. Did you say quote unquote Black?
No.
So that you Black? Oh.
I said quote unquote. I'm going to say a Garveyite kind of Pan African kind of thing.
Do you identify as Black?
I identify as being Black. Yes, okay. African. Yes, indeed. So my experience of schooling wasn't very good with the history that we were taught. We had Black history studies or Black history. We had a history teacher teaching us about Black people in history, and they gave us routes to watch. So that was a challenge. But I remember having a Black woman come into the school and telling me about Harriet Tubman, which I didn't know about. And I think it would have been big up to her, you know. I just remember just about her face. I know I was in year 10 or something, so I'd have been 15, 14, them type of age. Yeah. A long time ago. Anyway, so she came in, sat me down in a room, and was with me for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, or one of the sessions. And in my mind, I was thinking today even, did they take me at the sessions because I wasn't very good, or because whatever? But I think they were trying to interject some good stuff. Anyway, woman sat me down, told me about X, Y, and Z, and I was just like blown away by this awesome person. I wanted to know more about what people who looked like me did in that time of the history. You know what I mean? It sparked my interest. And at that time I was struggling with being Black because it was very racist where I was. Absolutely horrific. Okay. To me it was. To someone else it would be. It might not be. But anyway. So I think it's so imperative for individuals, particularly secondary school, but I think it should start in primary, to interjecting these gems. And it doesn't have to be about people in the enslavement days or the civil rights days. We need to be talking about people today. What are people doing today? Those unsung heroes. Those are my unsung heroes that 100. You don't hear about. And that's what I like. And I also want to hear, it's not just about Black excellence as well. I want us to look at the average person. I say average with a pinch of salt, like indented quotes, like the person that's struggling just to get a job. I want that to look like Black excellence, because that trying and that determination, even if they don't get to their journey yet, you don't see them, that is excellence right there. And I'm just trying to go off a little, sorry, I'm passionate, a little bit passionate about it. So it's going to be fantastic for the youths, for the youngsters, because they overstand their subconscious or understand themselves better and like themselves better because of the greatness that we've come from. And that's me.
Okay. Madam Mary?
I don't really know what to say, but I agree. Like, I think especially like, I want to say since my uni days, like being Black and being proud of that, and being like, I'm African, I'm Caribbean, I'm whatever, and I'm Brazilian or whatever. But being Afro-Latina and being proud of it, like, like I feel like in the last, I want to say, definitely under 10 years, but maybe.
Hold on, are you Afro-Latina?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I was like,
To
wait,
be proud
what?
across the world.
I get it. Go on, sorry. I was like, since when?
For the sake of the podcast, yes,
Listeners.
I'm not so legit.
Love it.
I'm joking. I'm really not.
Como estás?
No, but my family's Jamaican Indian.
Yeah.
So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I feel like definitely in the last decade, but I want to say maybe like since uni. So for me, that would have been like 2013.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, boom. ACS, like I don't know ACS existed before that, but it was like, okay, hardcore confidence. Okay, we are black, we are Caribbean, we are whatever, we're African, blah 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 blah. But I think even more so over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, people have been like repping, especially, I mean, America we know, but over here, more so we've been like confident about who we are. Like, you know, once upon a time we used to lie to each other and pretend that we're different cultures. Do you know what I mean?
You're right, we would claim the Asianness or the
whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not black, I'm Afro.
I'm
part
Asian,
this, I'm
blah, blah,
half
blah.
that.
Except where your hair's like that.
Oh, Lord, do you know what I mean? So,
or even when you had African people, like, I'm Jamaican. Where
Yeah.
you from? Kingston.
Yeah.
We're in Kingston.
Mobay,
You know what I mean?
Kingston.
Mobay, Kingston. Like what? Say what?
different parish.
Yeah.
But yes, so I think the black UK community has like grown its confidence.
Yes.
It's more not willing to back down.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Unapologetic.
strong. Thank you.
Yeah.
Unapologetic. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Unapologetically black.
And
Black.
African.
Blackity black.
Love it.
Black. I'm black, y'all. Black, y'all.
I'm black,
black,
y'all.
Literally.
Love it.
Do you know what I mean? And I love it when people say, "Oh, what are you mixed with?" I'm like, black.
With a sprinkle of black.
I'm 3/4 black.
And half. Listen, I remember being at school once and I was talking. I must have been going on with my attitude to this white guy and this other white girl, and she goes, "You just think you're bad because you're black?"
I don't think
Okay.
I know. What do you mean?
And I kind of like taken back, like, yeah, it's been hard enough.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, there is a pro-black, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that makes me proud. And I think, first of all, side note, happy Black History Year, because we ain't no month.
Come on,
Every single day.
it's the
365.
world history. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that.
happy World History.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Especially 2020, because everything that's happened, we are not taking nothing. But yeah, it just makes me, and I feel like, you know what else is making me feel really proud?
Yeah.
Is that the rise of black-owned businesses. I'm proudly saying black-owned. Shut your mouth, because it's not that time. But the rise of black-owned businesses is making me proud, and like, we're all in that Facebook group, that Black Economy group. That makes me proud. Like, I just went in that group, blah blah blah. So they want and guaranteed there is somebody in Birmingham
That does
and
something.
right, and in London, and I'm sure there's other cities that have their own version as well. And that makes me feel really proud, and just it's just good to see that actually we are stick a pin.
I love it.
Stick a pin.
The pin did
Let me tell you something, right?
one.
The other day, my friend was talking to me, and she was listening to the podcast, and she was listening to an episode. And it's an episode that we got the feedback on, but never mind. The point of the point that she was trying to tell me about was the fact that we brought up.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to cut that out?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Yeah.
She brought up that shop, yeah.
The hair shop. Yeah.
And do you remember when I said in that podcast, when you was explaining what happened, and you were saying because those other people are not. Sorry, we are not the, what is it called when the people the suppliers?
Yeah.
We're not the supplier.
But we should be.
So they have all the opportunity to push us away.
Yeah.
And I was saying, oh my God, then we need to become the supplier then.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember said that in the episode. And then my friend was like, we literally have to become everything to everybody. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. And I don't know why, that's just coming in my mind now. Maybe it's God, because it just made me think about like, like I was saying, I was really proud about black businesses rising up and this happening and this happening. But I realised that if we are so powerful.
We are.
We're so powerful. So when we decide to become,
when we tap into it,
when we tap into that confidence, into that whatever, that innovativeness, whatever you want to call it. But when we become the product line people, whatever they're called, the suppliers or whatever.
The suppliers, the wholesalers,
the
distributors. We should literally be the distributors, the wholesalers, the suppliers, the whole lot.
The manufacturers.
We should be the whole chain.
The manufacturer. What's that? Is it called? Does it come under the name? Like, is it like a name?
Logistics.
Or that? Okay.
Is it what you mean? The whole logistics.
I don't know. That's asking. Is it?
Logistics means the making of it, shipping, get it to the person, get the money. The logistics.
So when I was talking to my friends, I was like, "Thank you for that title."
Okay.
We really have to become the logistics of it. Like, we have to, like, because I was saying, because she was asking about my hair length, right? And I was saying I use this oil. And I love this oil. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm probably not going to stop because I love this oil. And it's worked for me. And there we are.
There's also the handmade hair company, just putting that in there.
That's her company. So this oil, that I at the time, I don't now, but at the time, I didn't buy it from a black-owned store.
Sure.
I brought it from the regular hair store.
Okay.
Partly out of laziness, because I'm not going to go all the way to wherever, because to be honest, the black-owned hair shops are nowhere locally near me. It's always in Dudley, somewhere difficult for me to get to. I'm not going to sit on no bus for 2 hours. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I digress. But so partly because it's laziness, I wasn't going all the way with it, and out of convenience. So what I would normally do is I would stock up. So when I go to the shop, I buy more than one buckle and stock up, so I don't have to go back regular. I don't really like giving money like that anyway. But now, because I am so passionate about what Nakima said, I will sit on that bus and go to that Dudley shop and go to the hair shop over there and get the same product but there.
Yeah.
And it's important that we put it back into our own, and that's why that's what I love.
Online delivery.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah.
And that's why I love things like Black Pound Day, and like I've been a couple of times and it's been amazing. And my cousin sells this product there, Care by George.
Yes, he does.
Thank you very much.
Big one.
And they're very good skincare.
Very, very good skincare.
They are great, aren't they? And soon to be Chantal's products in there soon, one day.
Very, 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 very.
Very soon.
Very, very
Although
soon.
I'm kind of over on
Very good.
right now. But keep them coming.
Well, we praise God. It's a great problem
Please
to have.
keep them coming.
It's a great problem to have.
But you're right.
100%.
But what's exciting about what you just said, being the logistics and the kind of the manufacturers, the whole cogs of it, yeah? We're going to have more billionaires. We're going to have more millionaires in that community. Black excellence.
You brought into black excellence and how you appreciate the fact that there's more black-owned businesses that say that they're proud to be black-owned businesses.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. How do we get into manufacturing? Like, how do we get into that logistics? Like,
that is a whole different conversation, and let's have that conversation offline before we bring it online, so that it's all fully researched and we can go into that. That's fine.
But yeah, that's something that I think that we should also do, because I am proud, like when I go into the black-owned group on Facebook and I'm seeing web designers, I'm seeing cosmetic lines, I'm seeing hair lines, I'm seeing gardeners, accountants, lawyers, I'm seeing gardeners, I'm seeing
cup makers, candle makers, all sorts.
Electricians, whatever, construction, all that stuff. Whatever you need is in there.
Can I put out there real quick? We need someone or black-owned business to make plates for us, beautiful plates. I don't think there's anything out there, so I'm just putting that out there into the universe.
So all homeware.
All type of
crockery,
homeware.
all that.
Sick to death.
Domestic stuff, I know there's a person that makes some sort of.
Get back at me, please do. But it's phenomenal in the last 2020 how the amount of black businesses like
risen up, man.
They've come out.
Risen.
The only thing is that now you've got to do your homework to make sure that they are black owned. But yes.
I hear you, because there are some.
Yeah.
There are
but
some.
maybe there should be some sort of directory where they sign up.
Hello.
Yes, same.
So I'm really proud of the company that's risen up in 2020.
Oh shoot! I love that.
That is so funny.
You know, it just makes me feel proud. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I know there were black companies in 2018 and 19 and 17 and above, but this year, and I think bless the Lord and bless his beautiful soul, Floyd, that lost his life, he sparked something within the black community all over the world.
Yeah.
Where people are even more so now than ever pissed, and not just that, but there's
I
like
got like that from Trayvon, no, but still.
no, and I don't think that people weren't. I think people were, but I think that I think people were in 2013 or whenever that's his soul as well. Whenever he went. But I think also people probably didn't feel like they had the either finances or the confidence or the whatever to actually just get up and start on their own. Because there's a lot of people that did, but I think there's a lot of people that probably didn't feel like they could do that. But I think now, because it's 2020, it's kind of like, come on, like, we are how many years past
Still
it?
past it.
And we're still in the same situation. So it does make me feel really proud when I'm seeing all these things, and I'm seeing, you know, like the other day somebody put like a black-owned surveyors company. I thought, oh my God, that's amazing.
That's great.
That's amazing. Do you know what I mean? And so it makes me feel really proud when I see things like that. And I want us as black people to continue. And like another part of the conversation I was having with my friend is that, like, we were saying you know how, like,
We're talking about Black Wall Street. Yeah, it did.
And we need another one.
Oh yeah, I would love to go to Black Wall Street.
It's demolished. They demolished it.
No, I mean.
Oh, you mean back then? Yeah.
Even in America, there's a place
before.
in Washington where it's like, just like, you know, like Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it's just that, but just all black owned.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think that would be a good thing to have, even in the UK. So I think we did actually, if we're honest, for a while, like years back when it was just like certain areas
that were allowed
were
to
populated, like densely populated, then you would effectively have like black owned pretty much everything. You would.
The mentality though, however, of those individuals, not all of them, in terms of the community, was like, I made it, I struggled to make it, you find your way, as opposed to teaching. Whereas I think other communities like to teach theirs
and take people under their wing.
Big time, you
but
know
we
what I
need to
mean?
stop being selfish and do that.
Yeah, we've got that mentality that needs to change.
Yeah.
Not all, and it is changing. It could be worse. It is getting better. But yeah, for reals.
Yeah, but I do like the whole, and we're gonna have to cover this probably a little bit better as well. The whole idea of Black Wall Street. So there was like libraries, banks,
bus services.
Did you see that article about that guy that's opened a black bank?
I think you told us about it last time.
In England, it must have been
No, I
England.
only saw it this week.
Oh, did you?
But yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the impact of black history on young people especially, I think it gives them a better sense of identity. I feel, I mean, I've moved around a bit, but I feel that it was harder to grasp identity than it probably is now. Although I think that there's several different narratives of what identity is now. I think you're in a better place to feel confident. I think that's probably actually confident in your identity. So I know that I feel like I'd have to be British or American or whatever, and then be Jamaican last, or black last, or African last. And for a long time, actually, if I'm honest, I didn't feel like I was African because there was a disparity in terms of the narrative that was sold to us. But when you start to realise it's poppycock, you don't roll around with the poppycock again. So I think that, you know, when you realise that you're just one people that's just dispersed, then, you know. But yeah, I do feel like the impact of actually knowing your history past, and those who are contributing to black history in the present, and you're able to sit down and recognise who these people are. So in as much as I I'm not the biggest. In fact, let me give the person I am the biggest fan of. There's a lady called Baroness Scotland, and she was the Attorney General. In fact, I looked up to her for years. She was the Attorney General for the country. First black woman to be so. She's of Jamaican descent, I think. She's of Caribbean
US?
descent, whatever she is. No, UK.
Oh wow.
So she was the Attorney General for the UK. She was basically the Queen's lawyer. And she was just phenomenal at her job. She was an amazing woman. And I got to meet her 2 times. It was like... but I was just inspired by her story. So like her parents...
Scotland.
Yeah, Patricia Scotland. So when she came over to the UK, like she was born into a really poor family. They didn't have very much. But she opposed every single statistic. Everything that was supposed to keep you down. You know, like every time they say, "Oh, I was born into this," and I was born, literally, apart from
the stereotypes out the window.
yeah, everything
Nice.
got blown out the water. I can't go to uni because I'm poor. I can't go to uni because I'm black. I can't do this and I can't. This lady, in a time frame where a woman shouldn't even really be going to university, much less thinking about it, like she just did over and above, over and above.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know I admired her a lot for that, and she's still living today. Dominica, that's it, that's right. So yeah, she was a phenomenal woman to me. Absolutely phenomenal.
We say was?
She is. No, she still is a woman. She's still alive. But I mean, like, because she's she like retired. I think she retired, and that's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying was.
Okay.
But yeah, she's
She's
great.
still in the UK, or I'll look her.
I think she is.
Mm.
I think she is. And she actually remembered me the second time she met me. I was like, you meet how many people? Oh my god! But yeah, she was
But
like,
she didn't meet you before. Again, twice. She so
met me
many
twice.
yous. Well, this is my point. Like,
no, but I
you,
wasn't
innit?
expect her to meet me, like, remember me. So when I met her the second time, I was like, oh yeah, man. She goes, I think I've seen you before. Like, yeah, I remember you. You talking about? I was like, I had to like hold it in.
not forgettable.
I had to give myself the man up speech a couple times.
Not forgettable. That's nice.
Amazing,
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Did you
But
get a photo with her or anything, or that's all right if you didn't.
No, I think I did actually, but it's probably not old
Somewhere.
phone. Let's broke up somewhere.
That's funny.
But yeah. Wow. So what do you guys feel like in terms of since you've started to tap more into your black history? What do you feel like's been the greatest thing that you've learned about yourself?
That melanin is condensed sunlight. I'm extra. I'm so extra.
She is not wrong.
It's condensed sunlight. That's one of the most amazing things. It's a chemical. Well, I think it's a god chemical, to be honest with you. But I'm going to be biased, maybe. I don't know. But from my research, there's so many. It's hard. So many. It's hard.
What would you say has had the biggest influence in you then?
The spirituality side of things,
Okay.
connection to the ancestors, to the creator, to God.
Yeah.
That for me, ancient African traditions are very much what I like, and yeah, that's one of the most, yeah. And the fact that, because I believe that the people who have passed in my lineage, in my ancestry, are still
Around you.
guiding me hardcore, and that's phenomenal. That there's this physical realm and the spiritual realm working in conjunction with each other, and that's amazing.
Cool.
Sorry.
No, man. Cool.
Right,
Sorry.
Can I ask the question again?
What would you say about, in terms of learning about black history or being involved in making black history, would you say is the most influential thing to you? Or has been the most influential thing on you?
Again, just to reiterate, the rise of black-owned businesses and seeing how but I feel like other people are now understanding how powerful we are as people, and hence why we get pushed down and pressed so much, because they know that, you know, if we all kind of just stick together and share with one another and teach each other and experience things and blah 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 blah, the list goes on. Unstoppable, because we're unstoppable anyway, hence why we've got so much foolishness going around. So there's that. I love that people are more confident and proud of their blackness.
Yeah.
Whatever that means to them and wherever they're from, people are happy about that and and confident in that and walk in that and it makes me feel good like when you see like another black sister and you just look at each other and you smile or or brother and you know what I mean, like that, just that chemistry that without verbiage you just look at each other and you just know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That magic. Hold on. But that kind of, I love that, like that makes me feel proud. And I don't think in my whole life I've never not been proud of being black. But obviously at the time I didn't want to be black because of all the foolishness that comes with that. But now as I get older, I wouldn't want to be anything else. Even with all the foolishness, I wouldn't want to be anything else. And I'm hopefully God blesses me enough that I'm able to have children and they will be black.
Yeah.
And they will know about their blackness and stuff like that. So yeah, I just love it.
And pro-black doesn't mean anti-white, like
or anti-anything else.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It just means that you want the best
For yours, and that's fine.
The same way you want the best for your life.
That's right.
That's it, really. What about you?
Yes, please.
Me, the most influential thing about learning about British history. I think the most influential thing about Black history has been, I think it's given me a belief in myself. Because having seen a lot of people, or at least being able to acknowledge a lot of people having gone through however much adversity and still come out smelling like roses.
Literally.
Like, they went through the dirtiest of the dirt. So even if I think sometimes that, even now, if I'm honest, it makes me feel like anything is possible. So even though, because the amount of stuff that I know that people had to go through, the amount of stuff that I know even my direct lineage had to go through. So I know I'm a maroon from Jamaica, so I know that that's part of my descendants. Yeah. So I know that they fought. They wiped out people.
And our professionalism and all those things.
Yeah.
But I get it. But just make sure you need an outlet.
I was about to say, but I feel like sometimes sometimes I feel like some people take it for granted.
This,
That's the only thing I can say is that sometimes I feel like people take that for granted, you get me?
Yeah, they do. They do.
And then when it unleashes, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what time it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to have to say that, yeah. And yeah.
I've had to bite my tongue over the years, so I
bite
hear
it.
you.
Like, yo.
Bite it. I've got half a lip left. But I hear you. I hear you.
That's annoying part.
Yeah.
But I think that's because one of my friends actually said to me the other day, she's like, in fact, no, it's actually more than one person that said this to me, actually thinking about it. You're one of them people that just roll with the punches, like you take lick and you just keep coming back. And I'm like, yeah. But I genuinely feel like that's just
no choice.
Yeah, but I feel like that, I would say that is definitely a part of the whole story. Like you gotta keep fighting, you gotta keep going.
You got to, from when you're not dead,
you gotta keep moving, bobbing and weaving.
For real.
So it's like in life sometimes. How did that come from? The hell? Oh.
But yeah, so hopefully you guys can let us know what the biggest impact on you has been from learning about your history. Hopefully learning even about yourself from your history.
Come on.
And we can hopefully get to see what you guys have shared with us.
Yes, we should do it at the end of October, or just do it again for a month. We don't even have to wait till
next October. It's true. Although there's another one in February, so we can do it for the Americans.
Anytime, it's true.
We can do it whenever we feel like. But yeah, so guys, thank you for joining us again this time on the Sweet Talks podcast, and hopefully we get to hear from you on the YouTube, the Instagram,
yes, please.
Facebook and Twitter. I think we've got all of them actually going. All of them are Sweet Talks. Type in Sweet Talks podcast on all of them. You should be able to find it. And yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as it's possible. But thank you again for joining us, and we'll
Stay
see you next
safe.
time. Bye-bye.
Bye.